Jerome Powell had a speech today, and this is a quick summary of the things that he said. Now, in it, we didn't really hear anything too new. The most important thing, though, was that he said we're probably a few months away from the Fed being able to stop the reduction in their balance sheet. This is actually a pretty damn bullish thing, but it also isn't new. He said this in the last speech that he gave in the same meeting where they declared interest rates being cut another time. Now, if you don't know what this means, the Fed can do a number of things, really just two things when it comes to impacting monetary policy. They can affect rates, something we talk about all the time. They can also add things to their balance sheet where they go out and they buy assets, usually mortgage-backed securities or treasuries, right? Bonds from the government. And in this case, since the pandemic, they have been allowing the assets that they hold on their balance sheet that they have bought in the past to come to maturity and be released. They haven't been selling it, but the amount of assets they have held on their balance sheet since COVID have been coming down over a set period of time. And now Jrrome Powell has been alluding in the past two meetings, this one included, that the Fed will stop allowing that runoff to happen. And eventually, after a few months, probably let's say 2 to 4 months, probably start buying assets. And when the Fed is a buyer, when they're buying bonds and they're buying mortgage-backed securities from the market, this is a direct stimulus to the economy and is the most aggressive thing the Fed can do to stimulate the economy, which is typically good for stocks and also cryptocurrencies. And then he went on to say some other things like, hey, we're still worried about inflation, but we're more worried about the softness in the labor market. But we like the growth that we've seen, but we still don't think that really addresses the softening of the labor market that we have seen. And you can read through those tea leaves and say, hey, the Fed are still looking at cutting interest rates probably 2 more times before the end of this year. And there were a few other ancillary comments, but what I provided here are the big hitting items from Jrrome Powell's speech today. Overall, bullish. But the Fed is looking to try to get more recent macro data from the government, which they haven't been able to do because the government has been open to release that data. Once they do, I'm sure we'll get more comments. But overall, a pretty bullish speech from Jrrome Powell. It's just not anything new or crazy, and that is what he said today.